There, I think we're okay. All right, let me know if you can see me and hear me okay, please. Oh, let me get comfortable here. Happy Sunday, everybody. Happy July 6th, 2025. It is 7 o'clock on Sunday. My name's Chris. This is, thanks, Mark. This is our weekly live fishing report. If you're brand new here, we do this, hey, Mitten Outdoors. We do this every Sunday night, 7 o'clock. We talk about big lake fishing, salmon, trout, everything in between. Tonight, I happen to be sitting in my driveway in my truck with the air conditioner going. Even though I don't need it today, it's pretty comfortable out today. It cooled off. Yeah, just t-shirt, nice comfortable t-shirt. And hey, Lima Charlie from everybody. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. And there's you can actually see my old truck. That's my old wood truck right over there. That's my 1997 Ford F-250. It's even got a dump bed on it. So that thing is pretty sweet. It's got a 460 in it also. I could pull a house off its foundation if I wanted to. Anyway, welcome everybody. Glad to see everybody here. We're already up to like 50 people like that. Dan Cannon, one of the moderators on here. Good to see you also, Dan. Hope you're doing well. See a lot of comments coming in. Of course, I'm going to miss quite a few. If you really got a question you want answered, be persistent. Steve Steele, good to see you. Be persistent in your comments. I will eventually see it. And a lot of times I'll go back and Jason C., thanks for the super chat, man. That's super cool of you. Jason, you're like every Sunday, and it is not unnoticed and not unrecognized, so thank you. Steeler, Husqvarna, they're both good. They're both good, but I'm a Husky guy. I run a 562, and I love that saw with a 24 bar on it. Sharpen it myself. Gotten pretty darn good at sharpening bars over the years. And that saw, I think I've had it 6 years now. It's an auto-tune. Husky's really got that auto-tune figured out. And it's really nice having to... You remember back in the day when you're running saws, you really had to mess with the jets to get those things to tune up right. And those auto-tunes from Husky, I know the 562, the 572, I think there's a 592 also. All of them are pretty darn good. But steel, there's really nothing wrong with steel. Chevy, Ford, Dodge kind of thing. This is what I love about this channel. Hop on here to talk about fishing, and within 3 minutes, we're talking about chainsaws. And everybody that's new on here is probably wanting to pull the plug on this thing, and I wouldn't blame them. But this is what we do. We talk about a lot of stuff. We just hang out for a while on Sunday nights. And I will give you a fishing report. I will give you what's working. I will give you a whole bunch of information. But I love just chatting with everybody also. So yeah, no poll tonight. Mega Mike, you cut and sell wood to fund your fishing and snowboarding? Dude, yeah, why not? Absolutely. Dodge all the way. Okay, here we go. Chevy, Ford, Dodge kind of thing. And I'm sitting here in a Toyota Tacoma, which I love. I've run, here we go off on another left fielder. I've had all the above. I've had Chevy, I've had Ford, I've had Dodge, and I've had Toyota. And I got a lot of family members, including my stepdad, who worked at GM for 35 years, and I've run them all, and I love my Toyota Tacoma. Love it. Very, very maintenance free, very reliable, runs great. But then again, when I jump in the back or jump in the behind the wheel of that Ford over there, I love jumping in that thing too and driving that around. So yeah, it's up to you. It really, I think in a lot of ways you can't go wrong with all the above. All right. It's cool enough to cut wood today too. It's I think it's 65 here, or 67 last I checked. It's a nice drop from the last couple of days where we've been kissing 90 right on the lower edge, and hot humidity. And we got a nice storm last night. Nice rain came through and cooled everything down. But it looks like it's going to get hot again, and we're going to get some different winds, and we're going to talk about all that. But hey, don't let me forget to remind. I got some notes written down. All of these Sunday night live streams proudly, and I mean proudly, brought to you by DREAMWEAVER Lures and Smart Troll. Their websites are down below in the description. Please take a moment to check them out. Both are outstanding. I talked to both of them today. Hey, what do anything that you want shouted out on the channel? They're just such good people. Now, Dreamweaver just wants to remind everybody the Ludington tournament is going on in a couple weekends. Hey, Nathan Peabody, appreciate that super chat, man. I see you. I see you, dude. Big tournament in Ludington starting up next week. And there's something in that tournament for everybody. Well, kids, ladies, pros, AMs, big boys, you name it. There's a ton of money to be won, ton of stuff to do, ton of events to get into. And Dreamweaver is a huge part of that tournament. They are pretty much, I'd say, the backbone of it. So don't forget to give Dreamweaver some love. I mean, how could you not anyway? I think they got the best stuff on the lake as it is. So how could you not give them a little love? So why not? Why not give them a little more love? Do I still fish tournaments? Nathan, I do not. I take the guaranteed money, you know, with the charters. It's hard to pass up the guaranteed money. If I still had my old crew, and it's not my old crew, I'm not saying that right. If the old crew was still together, me and Jim and Joe, Ryan, you know, if we were still together, people have moved away, their families have grown, we just don't do tournaments much anymore. But if we were all still doing it together, man, I'd love to do it again. But no, I haven't done tournaments in a while. We had success, we had not success in tournaments. So they're a blast. They are a blast. And if you're looking to get into, one of the best tournaments on the lake, jump into Don Middleton, Canada. CCA, I think California. Thanks, Don. Appreciate that super chat, man. I see you out there. Thank you very much. I do see you. Yeah, if you're looking to get into a really, really good tournament, it's really done well, jump into that the Ludington tournaments next week. Like I said, there's something there for everybody. And the money is the best on the tour, I think. Absolute best on the tour. You can win a truckload of cash in that big boys. I know guys, I have friends that have won that big boys. And it is a nice notch on the belt when you take that thing home. I mean, you're fishing against the best of the best. So it's a really nice little bragging rights for those guys, without a doubt. Anyway, Dreamweaver, huge in that. Want to mention that. Check them out, dreamweaverlures.com. Links down below. Smart Troll, another huge supporter of the channel. If you haven't checked out Smart Troll, what are you even doing? Check them out. It is a game changer. I had several captains over the last winter call me up and say, hey, what, Chris, is this thing the deal? Is it what you say it is? And it is. It truly is. It is a game changer when it comes to running your divers. For me especially. My fish hawk is still right there. First and foremost on one of my downriggers. But that Smart Troll system on my divers is an absolute game changer. Just a couple days ago, we were getting nice bites at a certain depth, about 85 foot down. I put my divers right in that area, and boom, boom. Meat rig went off, and a flasher fly went off. It is nice to get those things dialed in because there are so many variables that can work on your divers. The diver itself can be different. It could be a little bend, a little weight distribution issue, direction of troll. If you're going a certain way, turn around, come back to the exact opposite. Don't expect your divers are going to be running at the same depth. Speed changes everything. Currents change everything. Types of line change things. A lot of variables. So take the guesswork out. Smart Troll's the way to go. You put those probes on there. They're about the size of a big lighter. Put them on each one of your divers. Turn the daggone thing on, and you know exactly where your divers are running as far as depth and as far as temperature. Freaking cool. Really cool. So they are, Smart Troll wanted me to let everyone know that they are heavily involved with the Fishing with Veterans event that is down in Holland this weekend. I put a link to that in my Facebook. So if you're not following me on Facebook, please hop onto the description there. Check out my Facebook page. You're welcome to follow me. If you send me a friend request, I don't accept every friend request. I'm a little picky on that. And the biggest thing for me is I'm not big into political things. So if I go on your page and you just got political everything up and down the page, I don't care which side you're on. It doesn't matter to me. If it's just political things and hatred or misinformation, I don't care. Whatever it is, I'm not going to accept your friend request. I'll just put it that way. It's not for me. I don't want to see that stuff come through my feed. So, but if you want to send me a friend request, you're more than welcome to do so. And I put that Smart Troll information for that thing, or the event, the Fishing with Veterans event down in Holland this coming weekend. So check that out. And Daryl at Smart Troll is one of the nicest guys in the world. I am more than happy to give him all the shout outs that I can. Manistee River RV Resort, not much going on there as far as like promos or anything, but man, do they have the best stock on salmon and trout fishing gear in Manistee. I would say in a long distance. Hop into Manistee River RV Resort. I always say that wrong. Manistee River RV Resort. I get talking too fast. It's the old Insta Launch. It's funny around Manistee, whenever we talk about that place, everybody still calls it Insta Launch. It's just what it's known as, but it is there. The link is in the description to their address. I actually did a video a few weeks back showing you exactly where they're located and showing you what they got there, but they have a great selection. They added some things recently too. They added some Sally flashers, which my first mate brought on the boat the other day, and they do look pretty darn good. I got to take a little better look at those. Reloaded on the DREAMWEAVER flip fin flashers. Really cool. Black Sheep Lures is in there now also. Their plugs, the 4-inch and the 5-inch plugs are in there. Really cool. Amongst a ton of other things. It's a campground. It's an RV resort. It's a fishing store. It's an ice cream. They got there. They got nets. They got boat equipment. They got everything. Everything. If you need it, it's there. It's there. Did I miss anything? No. Good. All right, enough of that babble. Anyway, honestly though, check those places out. You'll like it. Like it. Yeah, Bill Dickens, you stayed in one of the new cabins recently, and you really liked it. I remember you saying that's great. Scott Garbs, is Daryl having any luck linking up systems with like Garmin, Smart Troll system to Garmin? Great question, and I'm not the guy to answer that. Daryl will be the one to answer that. I have no doubt that he is making progress. The guy is one of the smartest gentlemen I've ever had the chance to talk with, and the guy knows his stuff. So if he can do it, I'm sure he'll do it. Rustic Cabin, yeah, Mark Pearson, the Manistee River RV Resort has rustic cabins there as well. Full RV hookup, rustic cabins, a little more modern cabins, I believe, as well. Anyway, yeah, everything's there for you. All right. Fishing report. I'm sure that's what a lot of people want, and we're 10 minutes in, so let's do that. 12 minutes in, actually. Corey, coming down for over a full week in August. Great, yeah. Look forward to seeing everybody. A limo just went by. That thing was as long as a house. I don't know if I've ever seen. I live in the middle of the woods, if you can't tell. I mean, I live in the middle of nowhere, and I love it. And I don't think I've ever seen a limousine go by, and one just went ripping by here. It was about 80 feet long. It reminded me of the cars we used to have back in the 70s. You know, the old Oldsmobile 98. So my parents had one of those. I drove that thing around. I wrecked that car. I'd forgotten about that. I wrecked that car on the way to school one morning. I hit something and slid into a tree, and my poor buddy in the passenger seat dinged his head pretty good. I thought, man, I'd forgotten all about that. There I go, off on left field again. Anyway, all right, fishing report around Manistee. I'm happy to give you this information. Next weekend, I'll be much more tight-lipped with the tournament coming up, but Manistee, we are getting some real nice kings around right now. And the bite is not like on fire, like we're out there getting 20, 25 plus fish, like we were getting last year, but the bite is definitely on. Anywhere I'd say from 6 to 12 king bites on a trip right now is pretty average. The other morning we had, I think we had 10 or 12 king bites. We ended up landing about half of those. Good size on the kings. We ended up landing another 6 or 7 trout as well, and good sized trout also still showing up. The majority of the fish are coming from the majority of the area. There's still not anything really set up as far as something that you can dial in on a program. This week may change that. And the reason I say that is we got some north winds coming for a few days this week. And that can do some really good things. It can do some really bad things. So we're sitting right now, water temp last time I was out, I think it was mid-60s or so on top. Temperature break, getting down into the 40s, was down 80 to 90 feet, depending what area you were working. But 80 to 90 feet was about the average. So we were targeting, those nice lower depths where the cold water was, where the kings were hanging out. Early in the morning, we were getting fish on other things. We were getting fish still on 225 coppers, 10 colors, things that were out of temp. Fish were still up out of temp throughout the morning and still feeding on those things. But we did definitely target kings on those deeper divers. Excuse me. Low divers and high divers out working 80 plus feet down. Down riggers working that same range. My shoot rigger working down. I had that thing anywhere from 85 to 100. And that thing was taking some bites as well. And that DREAMWEAVER, that paddle that they put out last month in that custom program, all of them have taken hits. But yesterday, that BAM type paddle had the split on the front and the ladder back on the back over the top of the moon jelly. That thing took 2 or 3 hits for us yesterday with an 8-ball fly. That DREAMWEAVER 8-ball fly. That's a darn good fly too. So we were targeting everything, like I said, a little bit deeper as the day went on. Still getting bit. Well, now with this north wind coming in, we have north right now, north-northwest, pushing pretty good too. I think we're sitting at 15 to 20 with some good gusts out there. The lake's rolling pretty good. We're in a small craft right now, and we're going to have a couple other days with north winds. I don't think quite as strong, but definitely with north. Now, what that's going to do to the water is anybody's guess. You can flip a coin and think, it's going to flip the lake over where it goes back to ice cold, and it definitely could happen, or it could easily set up a shallower temp break. I've seen that happen several times in the past where you get some of that north wind. When the temp break's already really deep, like say it's down 80, 90, 100 feet deep, you get some north wind that rolls in and it brings that temperature break. And by temp break, I mean is where it gets down into the 40s, low 50s, 40-degree water. It brings that temp break up. And if it doesn't flip the lake over, my gut prediction is we're going to have a temp break 40 to 50 feet down by the weekend. And that is some of my favorite depths to work as far as temperature. You can really target that stuff so much easier than you can those deep temp breaks. Deep temp breaks, you're targeting 400 coppers, 450 coppers, even bigger. 13 colors, 15 color leg cores, divers down deep, downriggers down deep. Now when you get that temperature break around, around that 40, 50, even 60 foot mark, now all of a sudden more things come into play, like 225 coppers, 10 colors, 7 color, 8 colors. Even a 5 color can be really, really good in the morning time. Divers not so deep. Downriggers not so deep. A lot of 300 coppers can be outstanding around those breaks. 350 coppers as well. So, like I said, it could be a really, really good thing where it just brings that break up, or it could flip the lake over and we're back in a full search and destroy mode where we don't know where the fish are. There's no real temp break to set up on. The lake trout tend to scatter for a couple of days also. When that lake flips, it can be really tough to target those also. So, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Next few days will tell. But yeah, I'm forward to seeing if it doesn't flip the lake, what the Kings do. Because if it doesn't flip the lake, I think by this coming weekend, pushing through maybe even the continuation of the season, it could just be game on, absolute game on for fishing. So really looking forward to see if it doesn't go haywire and flip that lake over. Man, I already got some really, really good feelings about the fishing really, really getting hot. I just said really, I think like 8 times in the last 10 seconds. So it's enough of that. But it could get good, really good. All right. So fishing report. If I was going out tomorrow, and I'm not, I got tomorrow off, but I'm going out several times this week. If the lake does not flip, I'll be out there working the bank. 120 to 180 has been my normal go-to grounds right now. It could be a little shallower with the colder water. They could even go a little deeper, but a little shallower might be the hot spot as well. So on Tuesday when I'm going out, I'm going to check the depths. The Ludington buoy is up and working right now. Look up Seagull Lake Michigan buoys. You'll see the Ludington buoy is up and running. It will give you wave direction, wind direction, size of waves, wave separation times, which means the time between the wave swells. It will give you surface temp, and it will give you water temps from top all the way down to I think 70 feet. And that information is super valuable. So I'm going to take a look at that on Tuesday, see what the temp's looking at. I'm going to get out there and get my own 2 eyes on it as well. And if that break does come up, man, I tell you what, I'm going to work probably 120 to 150 I'm going to be running 7 colors, 8 colors, and 10 colors without a doubt. 300 coppers, 225 coppers, maybe a 350 copper as well, without a doubt. And my divers, I'm going to work high divers in that 40 to 60 foot range. Flasher fly, that dark blues dagger spin doctor from DREAMWEAVER is still my most consistent flasher. And I'm not saying that to toot my own horn because it's named after my boat and my charter. It has been, without a doubt, my most consistent flasher. And the other guys I've talked to that have run it, one guy called it filthy, which I love. I love that word. And other guys are having really good success as well. So I'm going to throw that thing back on a high diver. My low diver, I've been having pretty good luck with meat rigs on that. I've been running some GRC meat rigs on there with some of the DREAMWEAVER 10-inch paddles, like the double slick, the double black slick. The Netminder Showtime is fantastic down there on the low divers as well. But some of those GRC meat rigs have been paying off for me also. And I get this question often, so I'm gonna answer just right now. Which meat do I run? And you probably guessed it already. It's DREAMWEAVER. I've run, and there's a lot of good companies out there. Don't get me wrong, but I've run DREAMWEAVER, Familiar Bite, Big One, Lucky Sevens. There's a few other ones I can't think of right now, but I keep coming back to DREAMWEAVER. I keep coming back to DREAMWEAVER every time. Big One cut bait is fantastic. Their strips aren't quite as durable as DREAMWEAVER strips. The Big One cut bait is alewife strips, and they're great. I mean, they're true food for the fish, right? But they just don't seem to last as long as the DREAMWEAVER. And that DREAMWEAVER definitely, if not more so, produces fish than anything else I've run. And you can run that stuff. It's what is DREAMWEAVER? Is it ballyhoo? If I remember, I believe it's ballyhoo. Tougher than nail, tougher than leather. You can run that thing. You can get 3 or 4 fish on one DREAMWEAVER strip, and the thing still looks like it hasn't been touched. And you can keep running that thing. At the end of the day, you can pull that thing out of your meat rig, throw it back in the package. You're good to go. Put it back in the freezer, let it freeze back up, put it back on the next day. It's going to work. Cannot say that about every other bait company out there when it comes to meat. Okay. So anyway, that's just my 2 cents on it. If you disagree with me, it's all right. We'll still be friends. It's not an issue. There's, like I said, there's good ones out there as well. That's just my go-to. All right. Somebody said meatloaf. Yeah, my wife's cooking meatloaf. She must be on here. Yeah, I'm looking at the door. Yeah, she asked me today what I wanted for dinner, and because it cooled down so much, you know, none of us have been cooking. She hasn't been cooking. I haven't been making anything other than just sandwiches. And so I'm getting meatloaf today, so I'm pretty happy about that. What else do I want to say? What else has been working for me? The dark blues dagger has definitely been working. The blue green dolphin fly from KRW, the KRW money shot. The 8-ball fly from DREAMWEAVER. If you haven't picked that up yet, make sure to pick that up. Not only is it a top fly, it also helps support. If you don't know about this, there's a certain individual at DREAMWEAVER who's been there a long time. He's going through some medical issues, some pretty serious ones at that, and the proceeds from that 8-ball fly are going to help his medical bills. So not only you're going to get a top-notch fly, you're also helping to help you're helping this gentleman out through his time of need, and it's a pretty good time of need as well. So make sure to do that. Check that out. What else has been working? I told you, 10-inch DREAMWEAVER white slick and black slick spin doctors with GRC meat rigs have been going for me on my low divers. Spoons, it's been a mix. I'm trying to think what would be my top spoon. The Super Slim Soda on a 300 copper went 2 or 3 times for me yesterday. The DREAMWEAVER Fuzzy Bear Shelly Stack is still one of my go-tos. And what I love about the Super Slims and the Fuzzy Bears, you can run those at slow speeds. And that can be a real game changer at times. So say, you get out there in the morning and the fish only want 2.0, 1.9, 2.0, 2.1, somewhere in that speed range. And you're thinking, man, if I run these mag spoons, whether it be a DREAMWEAVER mag or a Moonshine mag, you're thinking, man, these mag spoons are not going to perform that well at those slow speeds. And you're absolutely right. They won't. But those Super Slims from Dreamweaver and the Fuzzy Bear mag spoons are very speed tolerant at slow speed. So if you get into that situation where you want to crawl it right down, they want it low and slow. And many times that's what they want. Super Slims, Fuzzy Bear mags are really the ticket to go to. Stinger's not a bad option also. But my normal go-tos are SS's and the Fuzzy Bears. And they've treated me very well over the years. What else do I want to say on that? Depth-wise, like I said, I'll be working 120 out to 150, maybe 180. Direction's going to be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see what that north wind does to the currents, if it changes anything. We've had a really significant offshore current the last couple of days. So coming from the shore out to the lake, and it's been ripping too. There's been a few days where we have not been able to run two divers on one side because the low diver is just getting pushed right behind the boat, touching that same side downrigger. So I'm curious to see what these north winds will do to the currents. It could really make them worse, or it could really make them better. I don't know. It's going to be a coin flip. I'm really interested. What's my best big fish bait from Mark? That's a tough one to answer because I'd love to say plugs, because typically in August when I'm running plugs, the plugs are a later year thing for me. That's when the bigger fish, late July, August. That's normally when the bigger fish are in the area. If you want a true consistent season long big fish catcher, meat rigs seem to be always seem to take a big something big down there. So plugs later on, and meat rigs right now are taking some of my bigger fish. Flasher fly, of course, as well. Spoons, though, I mean, I think about the last couple 330-pounders that we caught, they've all been on spoons. So, yes, it shows you what I know, which is very little. All right, so yeah, we're waiting to see what the wind does throughout the week. Fingers crossed it doesn't do anything crazy to the temps. Hopefully it sets up a nice temp break. If it does, it's going to be game on out there. Manistee, Frankfurt, Ludington, even Muskegon, and down south down the line. It's going to be really interesting to see what goes on this week. So anyway, I try to give more information on Facebook as the week goes on. I typically tend to post a pick or two throughout the week with some of the catches, including some of the baits that have worked for us. So yeah. Cool, Sawyer. Happy to hear that. Yeah, real good. All right, that's the fishing report. As I'm sitting here, I looked down and I wanted to mention this. I almost forgot. If you guys and gals are in the area and you want dark blue charter hats, I have 3 different styles available. I feel like such a snake oil salesman when I try to sell things. I don't like doing that, but a lot of people love these things. So you got dark blue charters in blue, and that's the logo on there. I love that logo. My daughter and I came up with that. My daughter McKenna and I. You got it in the kind of turquoise blue. You got it in the navy blue with a white back. That one is turquoise all the way around, navy with a white back, and then you got it with the black and the gray back. So if you're looking to get some hats, you're in the area, stop by the boat. They're $25 a piece. I'm not making much on them. That's fine, but I would love to get a hat for you if you want one. Just stop by the boat. Let me know. I'm not shipping any, so please don't ask me to do that. All right? Yeah, hurry. Step right up. Exactly. Yeah, Dan Canham, you're welcome to come buy one if you want one, or maybe I'll trade you for a diver holder. That's no problem. All right, questions. Let me have it. We got 150 people on here. 37 thumbs up, much appreciated. I've had a couple super chats, also much appreciated. If you have a moment and you haven't hit the thumbs up button on there, please do so. That definitely helps the channel. If this information helps you in any way and you want to help support the channel, the easiest way, absolute bare bones easiest way to support the channel, just subscribe. Just hit the sub button. And it goes a long way to the channel. One thing I forgot to mention was we did put a brand new video out last week. Had a cameraman on the boat. I have another one coming on this coming week. These guys are vying for a permanent position on the boat as a cameraman and editor. And the one that came out last week, guy did a fantastic job. He was a pleasure to have on the boat. And he put out a video. If you haven't watched it yet, please take a moment to watch that. And I think you'll really enjoy it. We had a great time. Thanks, Dan Cannon. Appreciate it. He did a really, really nice job. I was very impressed. We had a couple of hiccups where we did have diver bites on camera, and I know everybody loves seeing diver bites. We had them on camera on the GoPros, and for some reason the information would not transfer over to his system. So it's a hiccup we're going to work on and get sorted out. But we plan on bringing you at least one of those video per week till the end of the season, maybe even a few over the winter time on the river as well. We'll see. So if any of that helps you out, makes you all feel all nice, warm, and fuzzy, gives you some information that you can use. Like I said, the most basic thing you can do is just subscribe to the channel. It goes a long, 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 long way. And the reason I say that is because, you know, there was a lot of work that went into that video. And the guy put several hours into it. And I look on the analytics, and that video has gained that many subscribers to the channel, which is shocking to me. Shocking. I don't know why. This video will gain me a few subscribers. Some of the other ones, I don't mean to go down this rabbit hole, but it was just very surprising to me that the video that we seemed to put the most effort into to really bring you something that was polished and informative and well done, it got no subscribers to the channel yet. So interesting. YouTube is an absolute enigma. To those of you that haven't figured out, because I don't, but I sure have fun. Yeah, Sawyer, that's what I typically do is I do make shorts out of them, and they do bring in new subscribers. But I really want to generate interest in the channel from the people that get something out of it. You know, not just fluff and puff. You know what I mean? But yeah, I hear what you're saying. All right, question and answer time. Spit them out there. I'll try to stop going off in the left field, and I'll answer your questions for you, if you have any. Probably plenty out there that know a lot more than I do. Nina Crane, that's a good question. So you got a king 50 feet back or a coho or something that's going absolutely hog wire crazy. What's a great way to control that fish? So one way is to speed the boat up a little. If you got a fish that's back there darting back and forth trying to get in your divers and your downriggers, bumping up the speed on the boat slightly, I mean, don't pop your divers or anything, but bumping up that speed will cause that fish to come right back behind the boat many of the times. If that doesn't work, the last thing you want to do is overhorse that fish. We have a saying on our boat, if they're shaking, there's no cranking. So if those fish are absolutely head shaking and that rod is going nuts, the best thing you can do is just hold on to that thing, try to control the fish. What I tell customers sometimes is if that fish is coming up to the surface and absolutely going haywire back there, stick the rod tip right down in the water. Don't give that fish an opportunity to get its head up out of the water, get its body up out of the water, where he's getting, he can get slack on that line, or he's likely and liable to get off that thing. A lot of times I have the customer just stick the rod tip right down in the water. They can crank right there, or they can wait for that thing to settle down, and hopefully you'll be able to control that. Another great technique, and it's not something that a lot of people do, but on downriggers, on divers, of course I do this, but on downriggers and even long lines, I will hand line the fish the last 20 or 30 feet. If I have a customer or a client that's having a very difficult time controlling a fish, I will grab that line and I will hand line it the last 20, 30 feet, because I can control that fish much, much better. Get my hands low to the water, get the angles better. I can pull that fish away from divers and downriggers much easier than they can with a 9 or 10 foot rod sticking up in the air, and they're 6 or 7 feet, 6 feet tall also. So hand lining a fish, even on downriggers and long lines, can really pay off for you also. There's a long-winded answer. I hope you got something out of it. I saw other questions coming in. I missed them. Let's see if I can grab any of those. Bait fish. Corey asking about the bait fish. Still not seeing a whole bunch other than in the bellies. And we've been seeing some monster alewives in the bellies. So there's definitely bait fish out there. Funny thing is I'm just not seeing it much in the the ball, you know, bait balls out there. Do I use deep rig tackle fake meat strips? I've tried them, Mark, and I did not have much luck with them. And, you know, for me, if it's not broke, I'm not going to fix it. I'm that kind of guy. So I tried it for a couple trips, and maybe I just didn't give them enough of a sample size, but I switched back to regular meat, and that's what I stuck with. I know some of the guys on Lake Ontario love them, and I'm sure they do work. But for me, I'm just going to stick with the things that I know are going to work for me. What's my go-to 6-rod spread from Sawyer? Sawyer Plume, I think I'm saying that right. See, now I'm normally running 13 to 15 rods. It's hard for me to even, you know, think about that. But if you told me, hey, I could only run 6 rods, you know, downriggers sometimes really produce, and sometimes they don't. I would just keep it really simple, Sawyer. 2 downriggers, 2 divers, 2 long lines. But I'd be really inclined to customize it quickly if I needed to. If my divers were really going, I'd run 2 divers per side and 2 long lines. You know, 1 long line per side and 2 divers per side. If the divers and downriggers are really going, run 2 divers per side and 2 downriggers. Don't get in the habit or the mindset, hey, I got to run 2 of this, 2 of that, and 2 of that. And that's my 6-rod spread. Be ready to customize it. Be ready to change it on a fly. Like I said, look at what the fish want and just adapt from there. Some people asking about the Discord. Yeah, if you join the membership here on this channel, you get access to our private Discord page where we talk about all sorts of cool things. And to do that, there's a link in the description. You can hop on there, and there's 2 different levels. First mate level, captain's level. First mate level gets you Discord and everything else. Captain's level gets you entry for a Lake Michigan charter or a Manistee River Steelhead charter. So you can win those as well. Brian, hard to read your last name, Brian. Ahola, maybe? Aloha? I'm sorry, Brian. 8 or 10 inch spin doctors. So if I'm running, if I'm running flash or fly, that's the 8 inch spin doctors for me. You're welcome, Luke. If I'm running meat rigs, those are the 10 inch spin doctors for me. Not saying you can't run the 10 inchers with the flash or with flies. You can absolutely do that. But typically for me, 8 inches fly, 10 incher meat rigs. The 10 inchers just put a bigger loop into the water. Meat rigs are typically 48 plus inches long. Bigger loop in the water, more action onto the teasers, transfers all the way back to the meathead, which is back there doing its thing. And really high producers for fish. Really high producers for fish. A couple meat rigs off the top of my head, because somebody's going to ask, I'm sure. My number 1 meat rig, likely of all time, is the Green Mile, which Dreamweaver doesn't make anymore. If you got one, you're lucky. The green gasoline, the green UV gasoline from Dreamweaver. If you're going to have one meat rig on the boat, get the green gas UV from Dreamweaver. That thing is a stud. If I could have another one, I would get something from GRC, the Glow Cow squid rig. Funniest name out there, but bad on the fish. That thing puts fish in the boat. So if I was going to pick 2, those would be my 2. Excuse me. Good deal, Sawyer. Glad to hear it, man. Yeah, 300 coppers are fantastic. Anything else? Spit it out there if you want to. Otherwise, I'm going to go in and I'm going to have dinner. Yeah, meatloaf. Thanks, Chris Olson. I know. I know. I'm looking forward to it, too. A-bomb meat rig. Yeah, that's another really good one. Absolutely. Another great show. How many? Sorry, let me look at that, Scott. Another great show. How many in a row is that now? You talking about shows, Scott? This channel is 7 years old. 7 years old now. We've been doing I think we were the first ones to, in fact, I know we were the first ones to start doing live fishing reports. That was several years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I started doing the live fishing reports. And so, I mean, every Sunday night, for almost every Sunday night, I do take a couple off during the year. So you figure it out. Probably 45 plus shows a year, without a doubt. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it. We just hit 15,000 subscribers as well. Never thought we'd get there. I'd love to get up to 20 by the end of the season. That would make my heart just a flutter if we could do that somehow. Fishing 3 rods. What would I run? 2 divers and a downrigger. That's what I would run. If and I might not, hold on. It depends. Like I said, downriggers can be fantastic, but they're not always your best producers. If there was a good temp break, say around 40 to 50 feet, I would run 2 divers and probably a 10 color or a 300 copper. That would be my thing. If the temp break was super deep and you had to get to them, 2 divers and a downrigger so you can get down there. You got to be flexible. All right? All right, I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good. All right, guys and gals, thanks so much for being here tonight. Happy Sunday to you. I will be back on here next Sunday night. Like I said, I'll be a little more tight-lipped with the tournament coming in. If you have any questions for any of the people that sponsor the show, DREAMWEAVER, Smart Troll, Manistee River RV Resort, their links are down below. Reach out to them, talk with them. They will help you out in any way. Find the things that you need and get you taken care of. All right? You guys are all the best. Thank you so much. I will see you all one week.